Nature is patient. To create the perfect human, the perfect eye, or the perfect brain, it took 4 billion years, billions of trials, trillions of errors, and countless deaths. Evolution is a slow, grinding mechanism, or at least it was, because now, the rules of the game have changed. Humanity has taken the steering wheel from nature. We no longer measure biological processes in centuries, but in milliseconds. We now possess a power that can simulate what nature learned in 4 billion years in just a few hours. Biology is no longer a field of discovery. Biology is now an engineering discipline, and our new architect is artificial intelligence. Today, we look at how playing God is becoming a reality, from lab-designed life forms to the digital future of our species. Welcome down the rabbit hole. This is Wonder Mag. In the world of science, there was a curse known as the protein folding problem. Think of it like this. You hold the universe's most complex origami in your hands. Predicting how a protein would fold was the holy grail of biology for 50 years. Scientists spent their entire lives in labs trying to solve it. And for half a century, they only scratched the surface. Then, AlphaFold entered the stage. DeepMind's AI system was plugged in, and what human intelligence couldn't solve in 50 years, AlphaFold solved in days. Not just a few, but almost all known protein structures. Over 200 million of them. This was the atomic bomb of biology. Drug discovery, curing diseases, everything accelerated by 100 times. But there is a chilling detail. Scientists know AlphaFold's results are correct, but they cannot fully explain how the AI reached those results. It's like we are facing an oracle. It knows the answer, but it hides the method. We just ask. It answers. What lies inside the black box? Only the machine knows. But what if I told you that you could have a copy? No, I'm not talking about cloning. I'm talking about digital twins. Bringing a new drug to market used to take 15 years and cost billions. Why? Because finding test subjects is hard. It's risky. But thanks to AI and genomic data analysis, a virtual copy of you, created with your specific biological data, can now live inside a computer. Doctors don't test heavy drugs on you anymore. They test them on your digital twin. Your virtual copy gets sick thousands of times, suffers side effects thousands of times, and even dies thousands of times in the simulation, so that you can live. This is the peak of personalized medicine. The era of one pill fits all is over. The era of drugs coded specifically for your DNA is beginning. You won't just buy medicine anymore. You will install a patch for your body. But humanity's ambition, it doesn't stop at healing. We don't just want to fix. We want to upgrade. Enter CRISPR technology, the cut, copy, and paste command for biology. Artificial intelligence scans our genetic code, billions of letters long, finds the faulty lines, and CRISPR deletes them. Today, we delete cancer risks. Fantastic. But what about tomorrow? What if a parent wants to optimize their child's eye color, their height, or even their intelligence? When AI tells us, this is the optimal human genetic code, what happens to those who don't fit the standard? Humans born naturally with flaws versus humans optimized in a lab. The genetic caste system we see in sci-fi movies might be closer than we think. And it's not just humans. We are designing life forms that never existed in nature. Synthetic biology is creating bacteria that eat plastic or plants that glow in the dark. We are adding new branches to the tree of evolution, branches that nature never planned, branches that are entirely man-made. But changing our genes is only half of the story. While biologists are rewriting our DNA code, engineers are trying to connect our brains directly to the cloud. Projects like Neuralink are not just medical devices. They are the first steps toward a new species. Imagine downloading a new language into your brain in seconds, or communicating with your friends, not by speaking, not by texting, but by thinking. Telepathy, engineered by silicon. But ask yourself this: if your brain is connected to the internet, and the internet is connected to an artificial intelligence, where do your thoughts end, and where does the AI begin? If you can back up your memories to a hard drive, are you still human? Or are you just data waiting to be uploaded? We are merging with our own creation. We are becoming the machine. And this brings us to the most terrifying question of all. Who gets to be a superhuman? These upgrades, the perfect genes, the brain chips, the digital twins, they won't be free. They will be expensive, extremely expensive. For the first time in history, inequality won't just be about money. It will be biological. Imagine a world split in two. On one side, the wealthy, genetically optimized, disease-free, hyper-intelligent, living twice as long. On the other side, the rest of us, the naturals, still struggling with cancer, old age, and limited memory. We are not just looking at a class war. We are looking at the splitting of the human species. Homo sapiens and Homo deus. The gods and the useless. If you can't afford the upgrade, will you become obsolete? Perhaps the greatest revolution of the 21st century wasn't the internet. It was the moment biology and artificial intelligence became one. Our bodies are now hardware. Our genes are software. And this software can now be hacked, updated, and rewritten. Remember what we said at the beginning? Nature took 4 billion years. Maybe that was nature's goal all along, to create an intelligence that could surpass its own limits. Maybe we are not the final link in evolution. Maybe we are just the bridge, the cable connecting biological evolution to digital evolution. If we can write biology like code today, we cannot avoid asking this question. Are we also just parts of a code that was written long ago? Just like the code we are writing now.